All right, friends, it's T-Man, and I'm back again with you know who? Jason Blaha, Strength and Fitness, the gym lifting, recruiting, lifting slave himself. I'm gonna do another video on him. He's just put out another video to react to another reaction video. So I'm gonna react to what Jason Blaha says here. The basics will always work, will they? Everything works in the beginning, and then it stops working. Why? Why does it stop working?
Hey everybody, I want to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about the basics today. And when I talk about the basics, I want to be clear the basics have always worked, they will always work, and they will continue to work no matter how advanced you get as a lifter.
Yeah, the basics will always work until they stop working, and then they don't work no more.
And when I make this statement,
People call it newbie gains, they call it genetic limit, then they call it the hard gainer, and then they call it I'm adapted, and then I don't know, a bunch of things. They give it a whole bunch of names when they don't know why it's not working anymore. They just make up a bunch of excuses, but they don't know how to get over it. That's the problem. And then they make up a bunch of stories and they say, well, all these tests they did were on untrained people. Yeah, because that's usually everything works in the beginning and then it stops working. Hello, duh.
in no way saying that certain special exercises can't have their uses. I'm not saying certain cables and certain smaller movement patterns absolutely do not have a use.
Of course they have a use, because the point is to eke out an adaptation. If you haven't done a movement, you are able to eke out an adaptation there. What does that mean exactly, an adaptation? What does that mean to you when you do something and they say you got an adaptation? What does that mean? The body has to do something to give you an adaptation. What is that? What's an adaptation? Damage. Some damage has occurred there. That's what they tell you in science. Damage is associated with what? Adaptation. An adaptation is associated with what? Damage. I don't know. Let me see what science says. Sometimes it tells you here properly. I can't tell you for sure. An adaptation is associated with damage.
According to American Journal of Physiology, American Physiological Society, after an initial bout of muscle-damaging exercise, muscle adapts and is protected such that the signs and symptoms of exercise-induced muscle damage are less severe and return to normal more rapidly after subsequent bouts of exercise. 80, 85, 104.
There you go. It's associated, and that is, see, what is the adaptation of muscles? What's the adaptation of muscles? The local adaptations in skeletal muscles, such as increased mitochondrial biogenesis and capillary density. Yeah, that's in muscle damage. You get capillary density, mitochondrial biogenesis, aid in the body's ability to transport and use oxygen, generate energy, and therefore delay the onset of muscle fatigue during prolonged aerobic performance. Well, that's one type of adaptation. There are many adaptations. What is an adaptation from muscle damaging exercise? Okay, let's see. The repeated bout effect may protect athletes from exercise-induced muscle damage. That is, after a first session of damaging exercise, skeletal muscle tissue adapts and is less vulnerable to injury in subsequent sessions of the same type of exercise. So muscle damage is associated with what? An adaptation of muscle damaging exercises. See that? It's associated with what? Injury. And then you get less of these injuries, and then it's protected by the repeated bout effect. You don't get damaged anymore. So you're not growing anymore in the gym. Without that damage, you're not growing. That's why you've reached your natural genetic limit, your newbie gain limit, and hard gainer and all of that. But I guess people, they don't understand that. Now, sometimes I should clip these and put them in my, whatever, my section over there. I don't know. But you get the gist of it, okay? It's protected. It means protection. It means it protects. When you get an adaptation, it does something to protect itself. If you inject steroids, how does the body protect itself from the steroid? The steroids stop working, so they have to take higher dosages. Why? Because the body is protecting you by shutting off key pathways where the androgens are binding. So now you're increasing the dosages to bind to the androgen receptor, and then they keep either the body is shrinking the androgen receptor so it doesn't absorb so much of the steroid, but then you increase the dosage constantly. You're increasing it higher and higher. But the problem with increasing dosages of steroids, it's toxic, and at some point your body cannot protect you anymore because it's too overwhelming, and then you die. So it's like exercising. You're exercising for too many hours, lifting weights in the gym. You're adapted, and you're breaking down proteins now, but you're adapted, meaning you're protected. You're protected, but you think in your brain, in your small, minute, tiny little marble brain, you think, well, I'm adapted. I have to damage my muscles. And so maybe I have to be like a CrossFit exerciser. I have to lift for 4 hours, 5 hours straight. And then you get a disease called rhabdo. And then you die because your body couldn't protect you from all these proteins breaking down now in the gym. You understand me? In an adapted state. Get it? So you've been adapted to the steroids. You're adapted now. And then you keep injecting more. And then you die. You die because of toxicity. You don't die because you're injecting. You die, you get rhabdo when you try to exceed that breakdown because you're mentally sick, mentally ill in the gym. There's a lot of mentally ill people out there. They have no idea that your body, an adaptation means your body's protecting you from any more what? Adaptations. By adapting, by doing what? By repairing and remodeling the muscles stronger so they can't damage with the second repeated bout. So then they can't grow bigger and stronger anymore. So how do you get an adaptation then? How do you override that? You got to do exercises you're unaccustomed, unfamiliar, or you're untrained to get that. That's why science tells you unaccustomed exercise is known to cause what? Widespread muscle damage. But it won't damage again until those muscles are repaired and remodeled. But now think about it. What if you do get this damage, but you keep coming in the gym every day and you hammer it like crazy? It doesn't have a chance to repair and remodel, and the dead tissue is floating around in your blood and then going to your heart. You're gonna get rhabdo and you're gonna die. Get it? You're gonna inject steroids and you're gonna die. What happens if you run like a maniac? If you run and you run and you run, you die. What if you try to sprint and you've never sprinted before? You'll die. You understand me? At some point it has to, yeah, you could sprint not so hard. If you sprint not so hard, it can start protecting you by doing specific things because there's damage in your lungs, this and that. There's a repair and a remodeling, making it tougher so the next time you run, you won't be damaged anymore. Like I said, these are all protections. An adaptation just means something's being protected. But you maybe don't understand that. Okay, that's why alcohol doesn't work anymore, or your marijuana doesn't work anywhere because it doesn't work anymore because it's poison. Your body's doing something. It's shutting off these key pathways because it's damaging the body. Your body will only ever keep you alive. And so here's another thing. You're eating an artificial diet, and it's destroying you. It's destroying you, dude. And that too is protecting you, and then you die because you keep eating too much of your artificial sugar diet. You can't stop eating it, and then you die. Or you get fat and you die, or you just die. Or you eat a plant-based diet, which is not your natural diet. Your body's trying to keep you alive. It can't because it's lacking the resources to keep you alive, which is meat, your meat diet. And guess what happens? You die. You die. You die. You're dead.
I'm not saying machines don't have a use. What I am saying is that all of those things are very, very optional, and they are absolutely not required for anyone to make the best gains possible. So when you have...
You're not going to make gains with machines or barbells or dumbbells if you're not in a positive nitrogen balance, if you're not anabolic, dude.
Anyone out there say something like, oh, they don't...
And if you're not repaired and remodeled, you have to be repaired and remodeled before the muscle will ever break down again. It's protected, remember? Repeated bout effect phenomenon.
The basics. They focus on a lot of stuff outside of the basics in terms of training. Odds are they're a con man because let's be realistic, most of those other things are situationally useful. All right.
It's amazing how somebody could be lifting for over 35 years and not know any of this. Not know anything. They're just lifting for no other reason, just to lift and pretend that they know something, regurgitating really some fake information, fake info.
Most people who have an audience, a lot of people point out my audience.
Hey there, are you looking for information?
My audience, because I've been doing this a long time and I put out a lot of stuff for advanced lifters, is arguably on average more advanced.
Who would you think is more advanced, me or Blaha? He puts out more information for advanced lifters. Do you think my information is advanced, or do you think it's basic? Who do you think's information is better and more advanced, his or mine? See what I mean? Who would you want to be your coach? Him or me? Because I could take you further, faster, better, way further. And in a small window, success is a small window. I can get you to whatever goal you want really fast, and I mean rapidly. You don't have to be a lifting slave for 10 years or 20 or 35 years. I can get you to get to where you want to go within a couple of months, within a year, couple of months.
Way more advanced than the average Fit Pros audience is.
But you have to be willing to put in the work, though. You can't be a lazy person like Blaha.
So if anyone should be putting out stuff for really advanced lifters and very special weak point training, it would be someone like me. But most of these influencers don't have that type.
Wow, he thinks very highly of himself, even though there's no results here, 0 results. Remember, body does the talking. This doesn't do any talking. He's speaking, but the body does the talking. On my channel, like on my old channel and this channel, still my body is doing the talking for me. I don't have to speak. Body does the talking for me.
Audience, okay? I'm going to go so far as to say that
and I hardly ever lift, so it really is screaming for me.
Majority of their followers haven't put on their first 20 to 25 pounds of muscle. I bet you most of their followers have never even hit a 405 plus squat below depth, and probably never benched 300 plus pounds raw. Okay, the vast majority.
Okay, the vast majority haven't done any of those things. The vast majority? Are you talking about people that are lifting in the gym or people that are in the street? The vast majority. No, they don't do that. And what about it, Blaha? The vast majority, they don't do calisthenics. The vast majority, they don't do gymnastics, or they don't swim. They don't run. They don't do marathons or sprint. They don't do decathlons. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They don't do pull jumping. So what are you talking about exactly? They don't ice skate. They don't play hockey. The vast majority. I know guys that play ice hockey. They don't lift weights. I know guys that lift weights. They don't play ice hockey. Are they good at ice hockey? No. So what are you talking about? Everything takes these motor units, androgen receptors, and the CNS. They require that, and memory. Yeah, and a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay, so their followers are novices and intermediates, 95 to 99% of them. For most of the people putting out information, let's just be realistic here. I'm a bit of an exception because I've been putting out advanced lifter information for over a decade, and a lot of people who followed me have followed me that long. Tons of my followers are like people who come back. I've been following you since 2012 or 2014. Okay, they've been lifting a long time. A lot of these newer people who've only been putting out content for 5 or 6 years, you don't have that sort of long-term base buildup. So when they're
because we haven't been putting out content for 5 or 6 years, we don't have the base builder. Oh, I see. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Because we haven't been putting out content on YouTube. YouTube is so important. It's the special place. Yes, okay.
discussing all this other stuff, it's not even to their audience. Their audience has no use for it. When people start talking about, for your lats, grabbing a single arm cable, right? A cable device with one arm, or a machine with one arm, and doing a wrist
Yes, what about it?
twist on it is some form of lat exercise. You see where we're going with this?
Have you guys seen Devin Larat lately? He's looking so skinny. I don't know what happened to him, man. He's just withering away. Have you seen him? Let's go see Devin Larat, man.
Devin Larat.
Like, he just looks terrible. He was talking recently. I saw him in some video. I don't even know where it is. I saw this one recently. He put out this video.
This is the ultimate electric screwdriver
Hold on a
set.
second.
It combines all
like 4 times here, okay?
I don't think it's this one. There's another video.
I think
I don't know where it is right now. Hold on. He looks really skinny there too. Well, I don't know. Here it is. Look at his stomach area. It's a video.
guys, so this
I was actually gonna do this video separately, but this is definitely.
video is
Look at him.
she's doing like 21-day water fast.
Look at his arms. Look how skinny he is.
When
Look how skinny he is, man.
Jody first started fasting, right? Look at so I am a good
Look.
pounds, okay, and that was already like I was already kind of coming down.
Look at him. He's so skinny, man.
Okay, and this morning I am 229 pounds. Okay,
Holy mackerel, 229 pounds. Bro, he's 6'5". He was almost 280. The last arm wrestling match with what was his name? Sangashvili. He was 280, he's over 280 pounds. He's 229 pounds. See what I mean? What was he really carrying? What was he really holding? Was that muscle? It can't be. Muscle just doesn't go away that fast. The mass can go over years. It can go down slowly. You maintain it eating protein. If you actually build real muscle, it doesn't just go away, the mass. You're carrying mass now. You're an adult. You're carrying a lot of mass on your body. Why isn't it going away? Normal people walking in the street, because they're eating what that calorie requirement is, that meat requirement is. They're eating their requirements. I don't know. They can lose mass if they don't eat the requirement.
great. I feel super healthy. I don't think you're supposed to, but I train throughout the fast every day.
He's fasting. He's on a starvation diet. He's starving himself. This is even more crazy. I train starving myself. Hello. This is nuts. Did you see his stomach? Let's see his stomach, man. I don't know where that stomach is. That was so weird. Look, there he is.
So I feel like incredible.
It's a lot of fat there.
Like awesome. I am
Hold on. That was weird.
happier. Like I feel like incredible.
This looks weird. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, man. That skin and everything looks weird.
Incredible. Like
He looks so aged. You know that Devin Larratt is 49 years old? I'm 57. He's 49. Have you seen what I look like in my videos? Look at what he looks like. 120. He's 229 pounds.
awesome. I am
He's lying. He's lying, man. This is all lies. This is all lies, bro. Let's go back to Blaha.
Of lat exercise. You see where we're going with this? Right? Why? Because they don't need anything else. Weighted pull-ups. Get really good at pull-ups. I promise you'll have lats. Be really good at barbell rows. I promise you'll have pretty good overall back.
He promises you if you do those things, you'll have a good back and lats and everything. How come he doesn't have him? He's doing those. How come he doesn't have them? Why does he have to tell you you're going to get him? Why can't he show you you're going to get him?
Not to say we shouldn't do some of these other movements as we get more advanced, but this is after you've built a base for a few hard years, like a real training. And just
What?
Because someone's been training a few years doesn't mean they've ever built a base either. So keep that in mind.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Same thing.
Training a few years, they haven't built a base. You're adapted. There's no more adaptations. You are slaved at your slave job for $10 an hour, minimum wage. There's no more adaptation, sir, on the job. You want an adaptation? You better move to another job then.
With arm work. It's a perfect example. Just doing some barbell curls there. You know, I like certain other types of curls. I don't just believe in barbell curls. I really like preacher curls. I think preacher curls bring a lot to the table. Okay. But I think a preacher curl done with an easy bar, or a standing barbell curl, or even a standing dumbbell curl. See, that falls under basic exercises. Those are basic exercises. And they'll take you a long way. In fact, let's take those three things. Those three types of curls right there.
Yeah.
99% of people will never need anything more advanced or beyond that ever in the gym to get about the best biceps they're probably going to get.
That's the best biceps they're going to get? What about you, Blaha? Why doesn't Blaha ever talk about his biceps, what he's going to get? Because he's not getting, because his training doesn't work. You understand me? He can't get biceps. My training works. I always get what I want in my training. When I condition myself, I get conditioning. Usually it takes more than 2 months. Usually it takes the third month, like in everything when you're exercising. You see results around the third month or something like that, second. They're usually the third month, especially in conditioning. But in the muscle damage, you see it quite quickly in muscle damage, providing you're in a positive nitrogen balance, you're anabolic. You're gonna see results all the time. Every week, you're gonna see results every single week. With every damaging session and you being in a positive nitrogen balance, you're gonna see success. You're gonna see progression all the time. Your lifts will get better. You'll get super strong. You're gonna be so strong that you're gonna be like, wow, what is this, man? It's scary. Get it?
Right.
But none of you are going to be that strong, because none of you are going to ever do what I mention in my videos. Nobody is. And people always write me the opposite of whatever I talk about in my videos. They just talk about their slave ways constantly. They scratch on my comment section. They scratch with their fingernails, and they keep regurgitating the same fake garbage. They just write back to me fake garbage stuff. They don't even listen to my videos. So what's the point of making them? Man, that's the epitome of loser, dude. Get it? If you keep doing the same thing over again, that's equals loser.
Yeah, those three will build you.
Don't you see Blaha does the same stuff? Look at this. This is the epitome of a loser. This is what you all are. Losers. You're like him. A loser. Get it? You want to be a loser or a winner? Listen, winners eat beef. Losers, they eat plants. Get it? They're vegans. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Winners, they go out and they conquer the world. They get what they want. Losers, they stay there. They stay as slaves. They're slaved.
Heck of a base. Even think for chest work.
Yeah,
barbells
yeah,
and dumbbells.
Dumbbells, yeah.
For certain points, weak point training. Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever. Anything else?
Machines. Leg presses, hack squats, leg curl machines.
It's getting boring.
Romanian deadlifts, good mornings. Maybe a little bit of fancy stuff. I like glute.
Yeah, what about all those things? Well, a little bit of fancy stuff. Let me do this. Let me do that. And because I have nothing better to do, let me just do these lifts and everything. Nothing's going on there. Nothing's happening. But just let me do them anyways because, I want to go to work at the factory and not get paid for it. I want to just go there to lift these boxes because it's fun to lift boxes all day. Because maybe I'll get fit. I'll do exercise. My favorite lifts. I'll do my favorite forms of boxes on the skit. I'll put them this way and that way, and it'll entertain me at the same time. Hello.
Raises or reverse hypers. People trying to get into other stuff. Oh, let's do one-legged stuff with a booty band on.
Let's do hypers with the booty band and waste our time. Okay, sure.
Hip circles. All this stuff is largely nonsense. That's not even advanced stuff.
I think he thinks lifting is entertainment. This is entertaining him. If he's entertained lifting, wow, this is something else.
It's actually complete nonsense. There is no biomechanical basis for any of that stuff, like the whole hip circles and booty bands.
Biomechanical?
That's make-believe, pretend useful. They don't do anything valuable.
Yeah, but Blaha's been using bands the longest time. I remember in his old videos, we're getting damaged, and he was like doing these rubber bands, constantly doing rubber bands. Now he says they're useless.
There's no reason for them.
He hated bodybuilding. He was all so into powerlifting. Remember that shirt he had on, powerlifting? Remember how he used to eat in front of the camera? Because he was copying my eating videos, so he wanted to eat for you in front of the video because I used to make eating videos. And then he quit doing that, and he quit wearing the deadlift shirt. Remember deadlift? Now he's into bodybuilding all of a sudden. What made him get into bodybuilding? Man, I'm telling you, this guy's too. He's all over the place. He hated bodybuilding. You remember how nasty he talked about bodybuilding?
To even exist, in my opinion. And I try to find uses for things.
Blaha, those arms are never going to grow. They're never growing, dude. Maybe if you eat more of that starch, they may grow artificially.
Take a tool and say, well, okay, is there a good use for this tool? Can I figure out a use for this tool? Maybe there's a certain weak point. I can't think of any reason for those things to exist. They don't even help with glute activation, that's for sure. They can't. So again, people can go a long way with the basics. Barbells, dumbbells, weighted body weight exercises. Yeah, a couple of useful machines. Some lower body machines I think have some merit. Absolutely. Anything beyond that, if someone is promoting it, or they're promoting nonsense, like they're literally trying to tell you that certain hand angles produce a greater range of motion on a cable press down, because of the swing arm, not the actual joint angle. All right, this is nonsense. It's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of their time to even make it.
It's nonsense.
Things like trying to line
Swing arm is nonsense, bro. Get it?
the muscle fibers up on the other side of a joint with a one-arm handle on some sort of back exercise.
Okay.
It's complete nonsense.
Complete nonsense, yes.
It's nonsense. It's completely useless, completely worthless, completely...
Because Blaha says it must be useless and whatever and a whole bunch of stuff, yeah.
pointless. It doesn't do anything that a pull-up probably wouldn't do better.
And what is that, Blaha? What does it do?
All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Man, that was so uninformative. I'll see you in the next one. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next video. That was so uninformative.